There's no one there to judge you if you make 8 pizzas and eat them all yourself. Hello everyone, I am back. Thank you for joining me. Today we are making homemade pizzas. Now, before you go away, this is such a simple pizza recipe. It requires minimal attention, very little kneading, and this dough is so easy to work with. So if you want to make this, all the measurements are down below. This is an amount that makes 8 10-inch pizzas. So if you don't need that many, then go ahead, cut it in half, cut it in quarters, however you like. I just made 8 because we like pizza. Okay, so let's get started. In a large bowl, you are going to combine together your flour and your water. At this point, you don't have to worry about really kneading it or mixing it really well. All you want to do is make sure you don't have any dry flour in there. Now you're going to cover it up and let it rest for 30 minutes. When we come back, we are going to add our yeast and our salt. Now at this point, I like to have a little jug of water that I can dip my hand into, and it helps dissolve the salt into your dough, which makes it easier to combine, and it also keeps all the dough from sticking to your hand. Now, I don't really have a method here. I just sort of mix and scoop and smush it around until I think that everything is nicely combined, and at that point you can go ahead, cover it up again, and leave it to rest for another 30 minutes. At this point, we are going to start turning the dough. Now, because there's not a lot of kneading that goes on in this recipe, these turns are what's going to give our dough a nice bit of structure and development. So all you're going to do is go to your bowl and you're going to grab a little handful of dough from the bottom of the dough. You're going to stretch it up and bring it across to the opposite side and let it fall down. Then you're going to turn your bowl about 90 degrees and do this again. So you should do 4 goes of stretching and pulling across, and then you're going to cover it up, let it rest for another 30 minutes. We are going to do this 2 more times, so 3 times in total with 30 minutes between each turn. And after your 3rd turn, you can go ahead and flip your whole ball of dough over, cover it with a thin layer of oil, then you're going to wrap it and leave it in the fridge overnight for 12 to 14 hours. The next day, we are going to portion out our dough. So you're going to turn it out onto a surface. Here, I don't like to use flour to keep it from sticking. I actually like to use water. So I'll spread a little bit of water so it doesn't stick to my table. And you're going to turn out your dough and you're going to portion it off into 200 gram pieces. 200 grams makes about a 10-inch pizza, so that's generally the size I like to work with. If you find you want a bigger pizza, go ahead and make your own adjustments. So once your dough is all portioned off, you can go ahead and take your dough balls and round them up, and then they're going to go on a lightly oiled baking sheet. You can go ahead and wrap them up, leave them to rise until they are about doubled in size, which should be about 3 to 4 hours. Once they are doubled, if you're not going to use them right away, you can go ahead and put them in the fridge to stop them rising as quickly, and they'll be fine there for another 4 to 5 hours. If you are using them right away, then go ahead, but if you are just starting out, it is also a little bit easier to work with them cold. So once you're ready to go, we are going to take them off the tray and shape our pizzas. So at this point, you can flour both sides and stretch it out however you like. I generally just drape it over my knuckles and let gravity do most of the work. This is a really easy dough to work with, so you shouldn't have any trouble stretching it out. Now we are going to put the pizza on our peel to transfer it in the oven so that we can top it. Now, once you put your sauce on your pizza, it is going to start getting a little bit stickier and a little bit harder to transfer off of your pizza peel. So make sure that after you put your sauce on, all of your ingredients are lined up and ready to go. You don't have to be searching around your kitchen trying to find the cheese or something like that. So get your pizza all built out and then put it into your oven on a pizza stone, and have your oven at the highest temperature that your oven can go. For most, this is between 500 and 550 degrees, maybe a little bit higher. Now, a quick note. You do not need a pizza peel to make pizza. If you don't have a peel, which most people don't, I have one because I make pizza fairly regularly and someone got it for me as a gift and I really like it. It's really handy. But if you don't have a peel, just go ahead and use a baking sheet turned upside down, floured a little bit, and you can use that to transfer your pizza into the oven onto your stone. Another note, you do not need a pizza stone to make pizza. Again, we have one. I make pizza a lot. It's really handy. If you don't have a pizza stone, before turning your oven on, you're going to put another upside down baking tray into the oven, let it heat up with the oven until it is nice and hot. The main purpose of a pizza stone is to help the bottom of your pizza get nice and crispy, but you can just use anything that can get nice and hot in your oven to do this. And the last note, if you are really worried about transferring your pizza from your pizza peel into the oven, then you don't have to do that. What you can do is have your heated up pizza stone or baking tray in the oven, very carefully take it out, build your whole pizza on the hot surface, then put it back into the oven. And then you don't have to worry about going super quickly when you're putting it into the oven. You just have to worry about not burning yourself. So this pizza should cook fairly quickly, 5 minutes, maybe 7. Take your pizza out when it is at your desired doneness and enjoy. I really love homemade pizza. It is so much less bready and less greasy than takeout pizza, and it's just so satisfying to make them yourself, and there's no one there to judge you if you make 8 pizzas and eat them all yourself. Anyways, thank you for coming. I really hope you make this. I really hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.